He threw himself in front of a gun to save his ruthless billionaire boss, and got arrested for trying to murder her. One heartbeat. Alex Thompson was a single dad doing the right thing, protecting the woman who'd barely noticed him. The next. Handcuffs biting his wrists. Sirens screaming. Prison staring him down while his 6-year-old daughter waits alone at home, wondering why daddy isn't coming back tonight. The security footage twists everything. He looks guilty. The world believes it. But Elena Voss, the Ice Queen CEO who trusts no one and built an empire from nothing, knows the truth. He saved her life. Now she faces the impossible choice: risk her entire reputation and fortune to free the lowly employee who risked everything for her, or watch the man who could melt her frozen heart disappear behind bars forever. This boss employee nightmare is about to spiral into something far more dangerous than anyone imagined. Wrongful accusations. Corporate enemies closing in. A single dad's life hanging by a thread, and the most powerful woman in the city holding the key to his freedom, or his downfall. Will Elena Voss risk her empire to right this injustice, or will she let the man who saved her disappear into the system she helped build? Twists, tears, and shocking revelations ahead. Don't you dare scroll. Subscribe now and let's uncover the truth. The rain hammered Technova Tower like it wanted to tear the glass down. Alex Thompson pulled his worn jacket tighter and checked his watch. 10:47 p.m. overtime again. The garage lights buzzed overhead, casting long shadows across the rows of luxury cars that belonged to people who never had to count hours. He wiped motor oil from his palms with a rag that had seen better decades. Lily would be asleep by now. Mrs. Carter from next door had promised to stay until he got home, but the extra hour he'd spent fixing the CEO's private elevator hydraulics meant another late-night story missed. He could already hear her small voice tomorrow morning. "Daddy, you said you'd read the Dragon book twice." He exhaled, the breath fogging in the cold. 2 years since Sarah died, and the grief still arrived in quiet moments like this, sharp, familiar, like stepping on a Lego barefoot. But Lily kept him moving. Bills kept him moving. The job at Technova kept him moving, even if Elena Voss had threatened to cut him loose 3 times in the last month for tardiness and attitude. Attitude. That was code for, you don't bow low enough. Alex didn't bow. He fixed things. Engines, circuits, broken promises to his daughter. That was enough. He slung his toolbox over his shoulder and headed for the service exit when the lobby alarm shattered the silence. Not the usual fire drill. This was the real thing, 3 sharp blasts followed by the automated voice, "Intruder alert. All personnel evacuate immediately. Security Protocol Alpha in effect." His stomach dropped. The gala was tonight. Elena Voss hosting 50 of the world's most powerful investors in the penthouse ballroom. Champagne, deals worth billions, and security that was supposed to be impenetrable. Alex broke into a run. He took the service stairs 2 at a time, lungs burning by the 20th floor. The stairwell door on the lobby level was propped open. Screams echoed from the main atrium. He pushed through. Chaos. Guests in tuxedos and evening gowns scrambled toward the exits. A masked man in black tactical gear stood in the center of the marble floor, pistol raised. The barrel pointed straight at Elena Voss. She stood frozen near the fountain, white silk dress catching the emergency lights like blood on snow. For once, the untouchable CEO looked human, eyes wide, hands slightly raised, calculating odds the way she calculated quarterly projections. The gunman barked, "The prototype drive. Now. Or I paint this floor with your brains." Alex didn't think. He moved. He dropped the toolbox, crossed the 30 feet in 4 strides, and tackled the intruder from the side. They hit the marble hard. The gun skittered, spun. Alex grabbed for it. The man fought back, elbow to the jaw, knee to the ribs. Pain exploded, but Alex held on. Another shot cracked. Glass rained from a chandelier overhead. Security finally arrived, 6 guards in black vests, weapons drawn. "Freeze. Hands up." Alex had the gun in his grip, finger off the trigger, trying to eject the magazine. From 30 feet away, in flickering light, it looked like he was aiming it. "Drop the weapon." He looked up. 2 guards had Elena shielded behind them. Her eyes locked on his, shock, recognition, something unreadable. "I'm trying to," Alex started. A baton cracked across his shoulders. He dropped. The gun clattered away. Knees hit marble. Wrists yanked behind his back. Cold steel cuffs snapped shut. "He saved me," Elena said. Her voice cut through the noise like a blade. He tackled the shooter. But the guards weren't listening. The intruder was already zip-tied and being dragged toward the exit. Alex was the one on the ground, the one holding the gun seconds ago, the one who didn't belong in a tuxedo. They hauled him up. His boots squeaked on the polished floor. Elena stepped forward. "Wait. Check the footage." "Ma'am, protocol," the lead guard interrupted. "We have to process everyone involved." Alex met her gaze one last time as they pulled him toward the elevators. Her lips parted, but no words came. Then the doors closed. The precinct smelled of stale coffee and disinfectant. Alex sat in the holding cell, wrists raw from the cuffs they'd finally removed. His phone had been confiscated. He couldn't call Mrs. Carter. Couldn't tell Lily Daddy was okay. He wasn't okay. The clock on the wall read 2:14 a.m. 4 hours since the cuffs. 4 hours of questions he couldn't answer satisfactorily. "Why were you in the lobby after hours?" "I work here." "Garage maintenance." "Why did you attack the intruder instead of waiting for security?" "I didn't attack. I disarmed him." "The camera shows you pointing the weapon at Ms. Voss." "It shows me trying to make it safe." They didn't believe him. Why would they? He was the night shift grease monkey. She was Elena Voss, Forbes cover, private jets, the woman who once fired an entire division because they missed a deadline by 3 days. The cell door opened. A detective in plain clothes stepped inside. "Thompson. You're being processed for attempted murder and aggravated assault. Bail hearing in the morning." Alex's stomach turned to lead. "Attempted murder? I saved her." The detective shrugged. "Footage doesn't lie. And witnesses are saying you had motive, recent write-ups, threats of termination. Looks like revenge." Alex laughed once, bitter. "Revenge? I have a 6-year-old daughter at home. I can't go to prison." The detective paused, then softer, "Then you'd better hope your boss speaks up for you." The door clanged shut. Across the city, in a private suite at St. Augustine Hospital, Elena Voss sat upright in bed despite the doctor's orders. Her left arm was bandaged, glass shards from the chandelier. Minor. Nothing compared to the headache pounding behind her eyes. She stared at the tablet her assistant had brought. Security footage, raw and unedited. Frame 47, Alex Thompson charging across the lobby. Frame 62, tackle. Frame 81, the gun sliding toward him. Frame 94, his hands on the weapon, twisting it away from the direction of her body. Frame 112, the moment he looked up at her, eyes steady, no fear. Then the guard swarming. She replayed it 5 times. Each time, the truth was clearer, he had saved her life. No hesitation. No calculation. Just instinct. And the world had decided he was the villain. Her phone buzzed. Board member. Then another. Then the PR director. She ignored them all. Instead, she opened her contacts and scrolled to legal. "Margaret," she said when the call connected. "I need the best criminal defense attorney in the state. Now. And I need the bail amount for Alex Thompson. Whatever it is, pay it." A pause. "Ma'am, the optics." "I don't care about optics tonight. Get him out." She ended the call. Then she stared at the ceiling, the sterile white blurring. For the first time in 15 years, Elena Voss felt something she hadn't allowed herself to feel since she was 18 and alone in a foster home with nothing but a backpack and a scholarship letter. Guilt. And beneath it, something even more dangerous. Gratitude. The kind that could change everything. Alex didn't sleep. When the guard came at 6:03 a.m., he thought it was for transport to county. Instead, "You're being released. Bail posted. Charges still pending, but you're free for now." Alex blinked. "Who posted it?" The guard shrugged. "Some lawyer. Said to tell you Ms. Voss wants a meeting." 9 sharp. Her office. Alex's heart slammed against his ribs. He collected his belongings, wallet, keys, the photo of Lily he always carried. The officer handed it back without looking at it. Outside, dawn was gray and wet. A black SUV waited at the curb. The driver opened the rear door without a word. Alex slid inside. The drive to Technova Tower was silent. He stared out the window, replaying the night. The tackle. The cuffs. Lily. When they pulled into the underground garage, the same one he usually parked in, he almost laughed. The elevator took him straight to the penthouse floor. Elena Voss waited in her office. She stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows, back to him, city waking below. She wore black trousers and a charcoal blouse. No trace of last night's gown. No trace of injury except the faint bandage on her forearm. She turned. Their eyes met. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then she said the words that would rewrite both their lives. Mr. Thompson. You saved me last night. And because of that, the system is trying to destroy you. She stepped closer. Voice low, controlled. I'm going to fix it. But I need your help. Alex swallowed. What kind of help? I'm hiring you back. Not in the garage. As my personal security detail. Full salary. Benefits. Legal defense covered. Everything. He stared. Why? Because I owe you my life. She paused. And because I don't trust anyone else to protect me from the people who want me gone. Alex felt the weight of the offer. The power imbalance. The risk. But then he thought of Lily. Of rent. Of court dates. And of the way Elena Voss had looked at him in that lobby, not as an employee, but as a man who had chosen to stand between her and death. I'll do it, he said. She nodded once. But understand this, Mr. Thompson. This isn't charity. This is a contract. You protect me. I protect you. Nothing more. He almost smiled. Nothing more. He wondered how long that would last. Mr. Thompson, she said. Formal. Distant. Follow me. She led him through corridors of glass and steel. Past conference rooms where deals worth billions were signed. Past art that probably cost more than his house. He kept pace, boots loud against marble. They entered her personal office, larger than his entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows on 3 sides. The city sprawled below like a map she controlled. She closed the door. The lock clicked softly. Sit, she said. He took the chair opposite her desk. Leather that probably cost a month's rent. She didn't sit. She stood behind her desk, fingers resting on the edge. First, your daughter. I've already spoken with your neighbor. Mrs. Carter is with her now. She'll stay until you return. I've arranged a nanny service for tonight onward, background checked, vetted, references provided. You'll meet them later. Alex's throat tightened. You didn't have to. I did. Her voice was flat. You have a child. That changes the equation. He nodded once. Gratitude mixed with wariness. She was fixing problems, but every fix came with strings. Second, your legal situation. She tapped a folder on the desk. My team posted bail. Charges are still active, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon. The DA is moving fast. Public pressure. The footage is everywhere. Alex exhaled. I saw the clips on my phone before they took it. I look like the shooter. You look like a man holding a gun near a billionaire CEO. She met his eyes. But the full footage tells a different story. My legal team is pulling every frame, every angle. We've already identified discrepancies. The intruder's mask slipped in one shot, enough to run facial recognition. We'll have a name by end of day. He leaned forward. Who hired him? That's the question. Elena's jaw tightened. Someone wanted me dead. Someone with access to the building. Someone who knew the gala schedule, the security rotations, the prototype's location. Silence stretched. Alex broke it. You think it was an inside job? I know it was. She pushed the folder toward him. Read this later. Summaries of threats received in the last 6 months. Corporate espionage attempts. Rival bids. And one name that keeps appearing, Victor Langford. Alex opened the folder. Photos. Emails. News clippings. Victor Langford, former fiancé, former COO of Voss Industries before the merger that created Technova. Kicked out after Elena discovered financial irregularities. Now running a competing firm, smaller but aggressive. Ex-fiancé, Alex murmured. Ex-everything. Elena's tone was ice. He believes I owe him. For the company. For the years. For walking away. Alex closed the folder. So he tries to kill you and frames me? Or he tries to kill me and you become collateral damage. Either way, you're useful to him now, alive and discredited, you're a distraction. Dead, you're a martyr. He wins both ways. Alex felt the weight settle heavier. Not just his life. Lily's. If this escalated. Elena, read his face. Your daughter is safe. I've doubled security on your building. Discreet. Plain clothes. They won't interfere. But they're there. He rubbed his face. You move fast. I have to. The board meets at noon. They want your head on a platter, optics, liability, share price. I'm keeping you here until I can neutralize the threat. Here. As my personal security. She gestured to a door on the side wall. There's an attached suite. Bedroom, bathroom, small kitchen. You'll stay on site. 24/7. You eat here, sleep here, work here. I don't leave the building without you. Alex stared. I'm not a bodyguard. I'm a mechanic. You're a man who disarmed an armed intruder in under 10 seconds. You're exactly what I need. He looked around the office. The luxury. The isolation. And Lily? You can bring her here after school. There's a private lounge downstairs, child-friendly, secure. She can do homework, play. Nanny will supervise. You'll see her every day. Alex's chest ached. She doesn't know any of this. She thinks I got held up at work. Then we tell her the truth. Carefully. Elena's voice softened, just a fraction. Children are resilient. She'll understand you're protecting someone. He studied her. The woman who'd built an empire alone. Who trusted no one. Who now trusted him with her life. Why me? He asked again. You could hire professionals. Ex-Secret Service. Mercenaries. People trained for this. Because professionals can be bought. She stepped around the desk, closer. You can't. You have something to lose. And you already proved you'll risk it for someone who means nothing to you. You're not nothing, he said quietly. She looked away. First crack in the armor. Then she straightened. You start now. Change of clothes in the suite. Shower. Eat. Then we review the building security protocols together. I want your eyes on every blind spot. Alex stood. One condition. She raised an eyebrow. I call my daughter. Right now. I need to hear her voice. Elena didn't hesitate. She handed him her phone. Take as long as you need. He stepped into the side suite. Closed the door. The room was bigger than his living room. Bed made with hospital corners. Fresh towels. A stack of clothes, jeans, shirts, boots, in his size. Someone had been thorough. He sat on the edge of the bed. Dialed Mrs. Carter's number. Lily answered on the second ring. Daddy? Hey, Peanut. His voice cracked. I'm okay. I'm sorry I didn't come home. Where are you? At work. Big work thing. But I'm safe. Mrs. Carter's with you, right? Yeah. She made pancakes. Are you coming soon? Soon as I can. Listen, there's gonna be some changes. I'm working a new job. With my boss. You might come here after school sometimes. There's a cool room for you to play in. Like a castle? Better than a castle. He forced a smile she couldn't see. I love you, Lilybug. More than dragons and stars. Love you bigger, she whispered. He ended the call. Sat there until the room stopped spinning. Then he showered. Hot water stung the bruises. He dressed in the new clothes, simple, dark, practical. Looked in the mirror. Still the same man. But everything else had changed. When he stepped back into the office, Elena was at her desk, reviewing files. She glanced up. You're ready. It wasn't a question. He nodded. She stood. Then let's begin. They walked the corridors together. She pointed out cameras, blind spots, emergency exits. He asked questions, sharp, practical. Were the stairwells locked? How long the elevators took in lockdown? What happened if power failed? She answered every one. By the time they reached the security wing, the board meeting was starting in 30 minutes. Elena stopped outside the conference room doors. You stay here, she said. Outside. Visible. They need to see you're not hiding. Alex leaned against the wall. Arms crossed. She paused. Thank you. For what? For saying yes. He met her gaze. You're welcome. She entered the room. Doors closed. Alex waited. Inside, voices rose. Accusations. Demands. Outside, he stood guard. Not just for her life. For whatever came next. The private lounge on the 42nd floor looked nothing like a corporate waiting area. Soft gray walls. A low table scattered with coloring books, crayons, and puzzle pieces. A corner couch big enough for 2 adults and 1 small girl. Floor-to-ceiling windows with safety film that turned the glass into a giant picture frame of the city skyline. A small kitchenette stocked with juice boxes, fruit, and sandwiches wrapped in wax paper. Someone, Elena's assistant, probably, had even placed a small stuffed dragon on the couch arm, tags still attached. Elena had ordered it all that morning while Alex was still in the shower. Now, at 3:15 p.m., the elevator chimed. Alex straightened from where he'd been leaning against the wall, arms crossed, watching the hallway like it might bite. The doors slid open. Lily stepped out first, clutching Mrs. Carter's hand. Her school backpack hung off one shoulder, pink straps fraying at the edges. Her braids were neat, but one ribbon had come loose. She looked around with wide eyes, taking in the glass and the height and the quiet. Then she saw him. Daddy. She ran. Backpack thumped against her back. Alex dropped to one knee and caught her mid-stride, lifting her into the air like she weighed nothing. Hey, Peanut. His voice cracked on the second word. He buried his face in her hair for a second, smelling school crayons and strawberry shampoo, then set her down but kept her close. Mrs. Carter followed more slowly. Mid-50s, practical shoes, kind eyes that had seen too many late nights from single parents. She carried a small duffel bag, Lily's overnight things. Mr. Thompson, she said quietly. She was excited the whole drive over. Asked if your new job had dragons. Alex managed a small smile. No dragons. Just tall buildings. Mrs. Carter glanced around. This is impressive. I'll leave the bag here. Call me if you need anything. She squeezed Lily's shoulder, then stepped back into the elevator. The doors closed. Lily immediately broke free and started exploring. She touched the windows, pressed her nose to the glass, looked straight down at the tiny cars far below. It's like we're birds, she whispered. Alex stayed close. Careful. No climbing the couch arm. She spun around, spotted the stuffed dragon, and gasped. Daddy. A dragon. Is it real? Very real. And friendly. She hugged it tight. Then she noticed the table. Coloring books? Puzzles? Juice boxes? She ran her fingers over everything like she was cataloging treasure. This is the best waiting room ever. Alex knelt beside her. It's not just a waiting room. It's for you. While I'm working. Lily's eyes narrowed. Are we in trouble? Did you do something bad? No trouble, he said firmly. Last night was scary, but I'm okay. Now I have a new job, protecting someone important. It means staying here sometimes. You get to come too. Safe. Together. She studied him. You have a bruise. He touched his cheek. Fell. It's nothing. She patted it gently. Dragons don't fall. Even dragons trip sometimes. She smiled, small, trusting. Okay. Can I color the dragon first? Go ahead. She climbed onto the couch, opened a book, started on a fierce red dragon with golden wings. Alex watched her, the knot in his chest loosening just enough to breathe. Then the elevator chimed again. Elena stepped out. She had changed, navy sweater over a white blouse, hair down instead of pinned, flat shoes. Almost human. She paused in the doorway, eyes going straight to Lily. Lily looked up. Crayon paused. Elena didn't move closer. She waited. Alex stood. Lily, this is Ms. Elena. My boss. The one I'm helping. Lily tilted her head. You're the princess. Elena blinked. Princess? Daddy said this place is better than a castle. Castles have princesses. A ghost of a smile touched Elena's mouth. I'm not a princess. I'm just someone who lives here sometimes. Lily studied her. You have pretty hair. Like in books. Thank you. Elena's voice softened. May I come in? Lily glanced at Alex. He nodded. Elena stepped inside slowly. She sat on the edge of the couch, far enough not to crowd. What are you drawing? She asked. Dragons. And a knight. He's protecting the castle. Elena looked at the page. He's very brave. Yeah. Like Daddy. Alex felt the air shift. Elena glanced at him, gratitude, recognition. Lily kept coloring. Daddy said you're important. That's why he stays here. I am important to a lot of people, Elena said carefully. But last night your dad was important to me. Lily looked up sharply. Were you scared? Elena hesitated. Yes. I was very scared. Lily nodded. It's okay. Daddy says even dragons get scared. Elena's throat worked. Your dad is right. Silence settled, comfortable. Lily held out a blue crayon. Want to color? Elena stared at it. Then took it. She leaned forward and began filling in the sky, careful, precise strokes. Lily watched. You're good at staying in the lines. I've had practice. Elena's voice was quiet. When I was little, I used to color in books like this. Alone. In rooms that weren't mine. Lily frowned. Didn't you have a mommy or daddy to color with? Elena's hand paused. No. I didn't. Lily reached over and patted Elena's arm. Now you do. You can color with us. Elena's eyes glistened, just for a second. She blinked it away. They colored in silence. Alex stood by the window, arms crossed. The billionaire CEO and his daughter, side by side, coloring dragons. It should have been impossible. It wasn't. A soft buzz from the hallway intercom, security. Alex stepped out. One of the plainclothes guards handed him a tablet. Sir, quick sweep. Found something in the east stairwell camera feed. Brief glitch last night, someone tampered with the angle. Could be unrelated, but we're checking. Alex zoomed in. A shadow. Too quick to identify. Log it. Triple check all feeds from the gala night. I want timestamps cross-referenced. The guard nodded and left. Alex returned to the lounge. Elena looked up. Problem? Possible blind spot. Nothing confirmed. She nodded. We'll address it. Lily hummed softly, adding flames to her dragon. Then Elena's phone buzzed, sharp, insistent. She stepped into the hallway. Alex followed, door cracked. Elena answered. Go. Pause. Her face hardened. Repeat that. Longer pause. Send the full chain. And run the voice sample again. She ended the call. Turned to Alex. Marcus Hale, the intruder. Ex-Special Forces. Hired through a shell company. Money trail to Langford Global. But there's more. A voice message on Hale's burner phone. Victor's voice. Clear as day. Make it look like an inside job. The mechanic is perfect, angry, desperate, easy to frame. Alex's blood ran cold. He planned this from the start. Every detail. Elena's voice was steel. Including using you. Alex looked back at Lily through the crack. She was now building a puzzle, castle pieces. He doesn't touch her, Alex said quietly. He won't. Elena's jaw set. I'm going to the DA tonight. In person. Full evidence drop. I'll testify. Press conference if necessary. Alex met her gaze. You'll be painted as the villain who hired a hit on herself for sympathy. Or worse. I know the risks. You don't have to face them alone. She studied him. I never thought I'd hear those words again. He shrugged. Things change. Back inside, Lily looked up. Are you leaving? Elena knelt. For a little while. But I'll be back. Lily held out the finished coloring, the dragon, knight, castle, and now a figure in blue standing beside the knight, holding a tiny sword. I made this for you, Lily said. So you won't be scared anymore. And the princess can fight too. Elena took the paper. Her fingers trembled once. She folded it carefully. Slipped it into her pocket. Thank you, Lily. Alex watched the exchange. Something inside him settled, quiet, permanent. Elena stood. Looked at him. Ready? He took Lily's hand. We're ready. They walked to the elevator together, father, daughter, and the woman who had once built walls higher than the tower itself. Now those walls had a door. And someone had just stepped through. The black SUV cut through evening traffic like a blade through silk. Alex sat in the back with Elena, Lily safely at the lounge with the vetted nanny, Ms. Reyes, a retired schoolteacher who had already won Lily over with stories of real castles in Spain. The partition was up. No driver small talk. Only the hum of tires on wet asphalt and the soft click of Elena's phone as she reviewed final documents. Alex broke the silence first. You sure about this? Walking into the DA's office with everything. Victor will know the second you step inside. Elena didn't look up from the tablet. He already knows. That's why we're moving tonight. Speed is our only advantage. Alex glanced at the folder between them, transfers, voice logs, Hale signed confession from the holding cell 2 hours earlier. The intruder had cracked fast once he realized the money had stopped coming and the feds were circling. Victor's name was everywhere. Once this hits the press, Alex said, the board will demand your resignation. They'll call it reckless. Personal vendetta. Let them. Elena's voice was calm, almost serene. I built this company from a dorm room and a second-hand laptop. If they think they can take it from me now, they're welcome to try. He studied her profile, sharp jaw, steady eyes. The woman who had never bent for anyone was bending for this. For truth. For him. The SUV pulled up to the rear entrance of the district attorney's building. 2 plainclothes agents waited, Elena's people, not city police. They flanked the doors as Alex and Elena stepped out. Inside, fluorescent lights buzzed. The corridor smelled of old coffee and printer ink. A young assistant led them to a conference room on the 3rd floor. D.A. Harlan Reed waited, mid-50s, rumpled suit, eyes that had seen every lie in the city. He stood when they entered. Ms. Voss. Mr. Thompson. He gestured to chairs. I've been briefed. Let's make this quick. Elena placed the folder on the table. Everything you need. Marcus Hale's confession. Financial trail to Victor Langford. Voice authentication. Security footage analysis showing the frame job on Mr. Thompson. Reed opened the folder. Scanned pages. His expression didn't change, but his fingers tightened. "This is explosive," he said. "If it holds, Langford's looking at conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, tampering. We can move on an arrest warrant tonight." Elena leaned forward. "It holds. But there's a catch." Reed raised an eyebrow. "The charges against Mr. Thompson are still active. Attempted murder. Assault. The public narrative is that he's the threat. You drop them now, tonight, or this package goes to every major outlet at the same time." Reed studied Alex. "You're the mechanic. The one from the gala." Alex met his gaze. "Yes." Reed exhaled. "The footage is damning on first look. But with this," he tapped the folder, "we can motion for dismissal. Immediate release of all holds. I'll need a formal statement from you, Ms. Voss, and corroboration from Hale." "You'll have it," Elena said. Reed stood. "Give me 30 minutes. I'll get the judge on the line." He left the room. Silence fell. Alex looked at Elena. "You just threatened the DA with a media leak." "I negotiated," she corrected. "He knows the truth. He just needed incentive to act fast." Alex almost smiled. "You're terrifying." She turned to him. "I've had to be." They waited. 28 minutes later, Reed returned with 2 uniformed officers and a tablet. "Charges against Alexander Thompson dismissed. Full exoneration. We're issuing a public statement within the hour. Wrongful accusation due to manipulated evidence. Mr. Langford's arrest warrant is being executed as we speak. SWAT is moving on his residence and office." Alex felt the air leave his lungs. "It's over?" "For you, yes," Reed said. "For Ms. Voss, the storm is just starting. Board meetings. Shareholder calls. Headlines." Elena stood. "I've handled worse." Reed extended his hand to Alex. "You did good, son. Not many would have jumped in like that." Alex shook it. "Just doing what needed doing." They left the building through the same rear door. Outside, rain had started again, light, steady. The city lights blurred on wet pavement. In the SUV, Elena finally exhaled. Long, slow. Alex broke the quiet. "You okay?" She looked at him. Really looked. "I don't know what okay feels like anymore." He nodded. "Fair." They rode in silence for a while. Then she spoke again, soft, almost hesitant. "When I was 18, I had nothing. No family. No safety net. I learned early that trust was a currency most people couldn't afford to spend. So I stopped spending it. Built walls instead. Higher ones every year." Alex listened. "Tonight," she continued, "I spent it. All of it. On you. On Lily. On the truth. And it didn't bankrupt me." He turned to her. "It never does. Not when it's real." She looked out the window. "I'm not good at real." "You're learning." A small, tired smile. "Maybe." The SUV pulled into Technova's garage. They took the private elevator up. When the doors opened to the penthouse, Lily was asleep on the lounge couch, stuffed dragon tucked under her arm, the coloring page Elena had taken now taped to the wall beside her. Ms. Reyes stood quietly. She wanted to wait up. Fell asleep telling the dragon about you two being heroes. Elena stared at the taped page. Alex knelt beside Lily, brushed hair from her face. "Let's get her home." Elena shook her head. "Stay tonight. Both of you. The guest suite is ready. She's settled. Tomorrow we can figure out the rest." Alex looked at his daughter. Then at Elena. He nodded. Ms. Reyes left quietly. Alex carried Lily to the guest room, soft bed, nightlight already on. He tucked her in, kissed her forehead. She stirred. "Daddy?" "Right here, Peanut." "Is Ms. Elena okay?" "She's okay now." "Good." Lily sighed, eyes closing again. "She's nice. Like a dragon who forgot she could be nice." Alex smiled into the dark. Back in the main area, Elena stood by the windows, city lights reflecting in her eyes. Alex joined her. "You kept the drawing," he said. She touched the pocket where the folded paper still Saturday. "I did." He looked at the skyline. "What happens tomorrow?" "Board meeting. I'll tell them everything. They'll vote. Some will leave. Some will stay. The stock might dip. But the truth is out. Victor's done." "And after?" She turned to him. "After? I don't know. But I'd like to find out. With you. With Lily. If you'll let me." Alex felt the words land, quiet, heavy, true. "I'd like that," he said. No grand declarations. No rush. Just two people who had almost lost everything, standing together in the quiet. She reached out, slowly, and placed her hand on his arm. Not possessive. Not demanding. Just there. He covered it with his own. Outside, rain fell. Inside, something new began. The storm was over. The calm had just started. Months later, Technova thrived, stronger, more transparent. Alex became head of internal security, no longer just a bodyguard but a partner in every sense that mattered. Lily called Elena Lena at first, then, quietly, one evening over bedtime stories, Mom. The Ice Queen had thawed. The single dad had found home. And the city that once tried to tear them apart now told their story as legend. From arrest to alliance. From strangers to family. The end. Thank you for watching this full story. If this emotional ride kept you hooked, smash that like button, subscribe for more clean, heart-pounding romances, and drop a comment. What was your favorite moment? See you in the next one.